Dude, we got 123,000 people online, which means at least 30 of those are real players, and the rest are probably bots. Um, Not actually, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we got a new poll something blog minigame makeover. Super excited for minigames to be getting love because they are underloved, and everybody needs love, especially minigames. I'm gonna, I guess, as always, we'll keep this short. Got a little bit of the, content on the side here of chopping some logs and stuff, so enjoy that. Going for the beaver pet, 18 mil XP, no beaver. Hoping to get it before 100 mil. That'd be nice. So mini games updates, as you can see from the thumbnail, Winter Todd gonna be getting a little easier. Right now, the way Winter Todd works is you take damage based on your HP, and then it gets rounded to the nearest HP. If you have 10 HP, and 14% of 10 is rounded down, it goes to 1. So you're getting that 4% bonus, whatever. They're making it so, or they're polling a warmth meter. So instead of HP, you'll be taking damage to your warmth meter. Now, a lot of other minigames have something like this with the activity meter. I guess it's kind of the same thing, but the activity in this case is eating food. You're still going to eat food to fix your warmth meter and everything else. Here's my thought. Just make it so if you are wearing warm clothing, you take half the damage. If you are wearing full warm clothing and you have 99 HP, you'll take a 10. I don't know, fix the rounding on it so that it works. Like, at worst, you're going to be like, oh, like 78 HP is better than 79. Like, whatever. Just fix it so it's like that, or like have it so the rounding is random. Like, say, okay, rounds down to 2.25. Well, let's make it so there's a 25% chance that it hits a 2 and a 75% chance that it hits a 3, or inverse. I think I flipped the numbers, but you know what I'm talking about. That's what they're talking about. The only other thing with this is you will still lose your hardcore status. So the warmth meter, if it hits 100% or 0%, I don't know what it is, then you die as a hardcore. So what's the point of the warmth meter? It's still just HP. Just fix the rounding or how much food heals, or give it so that there's like an actual food in there that does it. Ooh, I got a frog on the other account. Or on the account, you know what I'm talking about. Winter Todd changes. What else were they thinking of doing? Broom-a-torch to the offhand slot. Great change. Love that. Instead of getting a supply crate, you'll get a massive pile of crates out by the pyromancers, and you pull from them. So it doesn't change the amount of rewards you obtain. It just is outside instead of inside. Now that's in line with Guardians of the Rift Temporos. So I don't hate it. That's fine. Unnecessary. We could definitely use some dev time elsewhere, but again, if it's a quick change, like, go for it. Some small little things. So should we add an invincibility window to the Winter Todd's regular attacks so you're guaranteed at least one fletching action before being interrupted again? Like, again, they're just making it easier. They're making it less. People are saying if you're wearing like warm gloves, then you should never be interrupted by the cold. And they just want this to be the most free 99 skill ever. Whatever else, like, guys, come on, like, it's, chill. Like, you put a little bit of work into here. Moving on swiftly to the Guardians of the Rift. That was good. Guardians of the Rift, it's pretty great, honestly. I like the minigame. There's some problems with scaling and player caps. You do not need to know about them. Who cares? They want to make it so you're rewarded for doing smaller teams. And for the bigger teams, basically, it makes it easier because a lot of players in big teams do nothing. And they just, like, get their points and move on. They don't help the team. So dynamic scaling. That's all you need to know. Need. Cells, barriers, and guardians. Some changes on how do you use your cells to fortify barriers. Really, it's just like a couple of different things, but XP changes. Like, should we let people charge barriers and guardians while the game is starting up? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Should we allow players to get XP from the catalytic and elemental energy when recharging a barrier, regardless of its HP? Yeah, that would make sense. If the barrier's full and you still do it, then you get the stuff. It'll limit you at a certain amount of XP, so you can't abuse it. And then should we change the cost of repairing a broken barrier from 10 to 12? Like, who cares? Who cares? Rift choices. Now, when you start off a game, you get randomly assigned a rift, couple of rifts that are open, and there's actually like studies are shown that if you get unlucky and you get air, which is a weak rift, then you're more likely to fail the game and not get points. So they're just going to make it so we prevent the first wave from offering two weak rifts at the same time. Why are you pulling this? Just fix it. Sorry, continuing on. Rewards. They're going to do a big search option. Now, if you stack up 1,000 rewards in Guardians of the Rift, it will take you 3/4 of an hour. Rough math off the top of my head. 4 ticks, 1,000, 4,000 ticks. A full hour is 6,000 ticks. Yeah, like, that's a lot. So they are going to make it so you can quickly rip through those. I don't know. Here's a weird one. You might like to trade in 25 abyssal pearls for an extra search. Now that is a lot of pearls, but once you've got everything and you're going for the pet, you're going to have a lot of extra pearls that you're not going to have anything to spend it on. If you're a main, you can buy some of the items and sell them, if I'm not mistaken, but realistically, this would be better for most people. So then the other thing would be the Colossal Pouch. So currently you can't use the Colossal Pouch before 85 rune crafting. They want to buff that so that you can still use the Colossal Pouch. It's just not as good at lower levels. There's all the numbers there. So yeah, they're going to say big search, you go 5 rewards at a time. Trade in your pearls for 1 extra pull, and then Colossal Pouch changes. I mean, like, sure, as I said, just fix some of these things anyways. I mean, those were the other questions, but I don't think this is necessary, making it so you can trade in pearls for extra pulls. I think the other thing that you should do is just, like, you can trade pearls for runes, because everyone can use runes. Give us another way of buying blood runes. Like, why not? Colossal Pouch capacity, like, whatever. Minigame, or not minigame, rune crafting could use some love, so that's fine if it gets a little bit of love there. Some miscellaneous minigame changes. Trinkle Teppling, yep. The infamous bog section. So we've got our nice lad there, Swamp Letix, who broke the bog and found out that you can, like, mark tiles and figure out what tiles are safe and what tiles aren't. I don't know. Awful part of the minigame. Just really old, janky, clunky thing. So they're just saying, should we just remove it? It would be replaced by a bridge encounter featuring a zombie lumberjack. So it makes the lumberjack outfit easier to get. Like, like, remove it, but maybe you could just make the bog one a little bit faster, or like a lot bit faster. Next one, so should we increase the quantity of nail beast nails dropped by nail beasts from 1 to a random of 2 and 3? Nail beast nails, great name, they make Sandfew potions, and there's a shortage of Sandfew potions in the game because they added more uses for Sandfews and then really didn't add anything that drops them, and then Fosani drops them, but they're not noted for whatever frickin' reason. I don't know, like, maybe you should make it so there's some noted or some not, or you can get a random drop of 100 of them, and whatever. Doesn't matter. That's fine. Just do it, whatever. Should we make the nail beast attack sound quieter? Dude, like, mute your sounds. It's hilarious how loud that attack is, and also, why is that a poll question? Mahogany Homes. Great game, minigame for construction. They could do so much with construction. Please do a huge, like, revamp of construction. Not revamp, just expansion. Add on what we currently have. I want player-owned kingdoms, okay? A house is cool, but it's just this floaty square, flat square. POHs are flat, and flat earthers rejoice. But, like, if you had an entire kingdom where you can have, like, all kinds of stuff going on. Like, you've got miscellanea right now, where you've got minions that collect stuff for you and whatever else. Imagine you could make your own kingdom, and you could, like, set some people off to work and whatever. Like, that's an entire game. That's, like, a game within a game. Hey, that's why it's called a minigame. But, yeah, I would love for them to do more with construction. That was a little side rant there. So, unpolled, they're going to remove the delay from drinking tea dialogue after finishing a contract. See, do more of this unpolled stuff for, like, things that are just blatantly worth doing. Moves Amy's saw to the offhand equipment slot. That's a good one. They did that with the Brumatorch, or they're talking about that with the Brumatorch. All kinds of these, like, useful tool items should definitely go to the offhand slot. I was thinking recently they definitely should add some sort of a tool bag as a one item in your inventory that would be like a hammer, a saw, a chisel, a knife, a bronze pickaxe, a bronze axe, maybe a needle. Just like a multi-tool. But that could come from like a Grandmaster skilling quest or a skilling raid in the future. I want skilling raids. Imagine you like combine all of the different things of skills, not combat, but skills, and then they turn that into a 30-minute raid. I think there's a ton of potential there. I don't know. Should we move Amy Saw to the offhand equipment slot? That'll get voted yes. That'll be like a 98%. Should we remove the furniture selection interface from Mahogany Homes contracts if you already have the necessary supplies to build a piece of furniture? They're buffing it. They're just making this faster. They're making the minigame a little bit easier and faster, and you'll get more XP per hour. So, Last Man Standing. I told you we're just going to rip through this. Last Man Standing, they're going to add the Perilous Moon's armor sets to the 75 defense bracket loot table. Adds a little bit of life back into the minigame, which I like. I think it'll be a nice little change. I worry that the gear drops and everything are getting extra complicated, but it's just for fun, so I'm all for it. Maybe they could add like some sort of ornament kit for Perilous Moon's armor from LMS. I don't know if LMS actually does need more rewards. Just a thought. I'm here for a new set of clue scroll rewards coming at some point. I also want Grandmaster clues. Would be sweet. They're going to increase the speed at which fog spreads during a game. This will speed up how fast games are. More wins per hour, more points per hour, more everything. And that's unpulled. So that's happening. And there's your question. Should we add the Moon's Apparel armor to loot crates inside of Last Man Standing for the top bracket? Everything else. So here's everything else you need to know. They're going to adjust the Soul Wars map so that the blue side avatar cannot be safe spotted. No shit. That makes a lot of sense. Give players more pieces of 8 for actively making rum inside of Trouble Brewing. Yeah, like currently Trouble Brewing is just like AFK Leech Scape. So if they make it so you can get more rewards, pieces of 8 is the currency that you get from this. If they can increase how much of that you get, that's probably a good thing. Allow bounty hunter rewards to be used in PvP minigames. This is low-key like the thing I'm most excited for. If you could roll up to Soul Wars in full Vestas with the Vestas longsword, that would be hilarious. Yeah, that would just be great. Add a quick start option for Temperos players looking to jump back into solo kills. Whatever, it's 12 seconds. Like, chill. Okay, what else do we got? That was Poll, Trouble Brewing, blah, blah, blah. Wait, there's Varlamore. Not related to minigames at all. We just want to run it past you before next Varlamore update. So, they're talking about adding a new weapon called the Glacial Temotli. Again, can we call something like, I don't know, Doug's Hammers? Because that's what this is. A tier 55 crush weapon whose stats otherwise mirror the sulfur blades. So, currently we've got Torag's Hammers. We've got the Dual Makwahuilhoidal. This would be a shade below Torag's Hammers, where it hits twice, 2 hit splats. It would actually be very good in Moons of Peril on the Blue Moon boss. I don't need to get into the details as to why, but it'd actually be pretty good there, so whatever. This one is like a no-brainer. Should we add it to the Ice Nagua in a future Varlamore update? Yes, I don't know. Let's just add it. Just get her done. So this is the end of the blog. It's not the end of the video, though. I wanted to rip over to Twitter. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to show that. Twitter. Scrolling back up to the top. There's some feedback on here, and I just kind of wanted to pick through some of them. This one guy here says, a huge upgrade to the Soul Wars experience would be to shorten how long you can be frozen for. There's nothing less enjoyable than spending 20 seconds standing still spamming bandages. Perhaps a flat nerf to freezing and binding spells to be half as long. Whoever said that is a genius. That was me, by the way, if you're not watching the video. Yeah, so Soul Wars, I love Soul Wars. It's very nostalgic for me. And I definitely think that they could make it more enjoyable. Like if someone's out there in full Ancestral and they're just ice barraging, you step out of your safe portal, whatever thing you're trying to run, and boom, barrage 20 seconds. Like it's just like, oh my god, you run 5 squares and then they freaking barrage you again. You're like, come on. So it gets to the point where that's not enjoyable. I do think they gotta nerf the barrage somehow. Maybe it's you get frozen for half as long. Maybe it's you're like super tanky on it. Maybe you can like free teammates by using a bandage on them, or like I don't know, something. They could do something with Soul Wars. There was no love for Soul Wars in this, and it would be good for them to fix that up and not make it like boosting central. Here's a good one from Charmy. Good job, Charmy. Now that we've accepted Wintertodt and Temperos are minigames, can we remove their CAs? This is so true. It's literally titled like minigame makeover, and then immediately Wintertodt, and then in other places they're like, it's not a minigame, it's a boss. And then it's on the CAs, and it's like, holy moly, who are you kidding? It's a freaking minigame. Let alone that, like with the changes there to Wintertodt, they'd be stating that it's like there's no damage anymore. It's just a warmth meter. So, anyways, I hit her with the great feedback. I don't know the icon here, Charmy. I'm assuming. What else do we got? This one, I've just liked the ones that I wanted to read out. So, can we reskin the room for Wintertodt? Maybe make it blue or something, because I know I'm not the only one who hates how bright that room is. The room do be pretty bright, not gonna lie. I don't know what they could do for that, because it's snow. It's supposed to be snow. Maybe it's like, I don't know, make it more gray a little bit in different areas. I don't know what they could do there. They could just lower the saturation, but also there's a lot of plugins that will fix that. I think we're just at that point. Cannot see them doing anything with that, but it got a lot of updates. Couple other things. Castle Wars overhaul. Yeah, there's not much we can do for Castle Wars, and I don't want them to touch Castle Wars much because of how nostalgic and whatever it is. Here's an idea, or I have an idea. How about the warm gloves preventing interruptions during Wintertodt? Right now, those are just cosmetic and match the Pyromancer outfit, but I think that would make them really useful. But when you say really useful, do you just mean like game breaking? Because that would be pretty game breaking for Wintertodt. Currently, that's the only way of making it so you have to pay attention, really, is not getting interrupted by stuff. Like, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's just trying to make it so that it's an active way of training Wintertodt. I think there is just problems with how they do it. A good example for making it, like obviously Temperos is pretty much a copy-paste of Wintertodt, but reskinning it a little bit. Like Temperos has those occasional storms. You gotta latch yourself, you gotta tie yourself to the mast, you gotta do this and that. Like Wintertodt doesn't have that. They've got the like falling pile of snow. They've got the breaking barrier, but like I guess they could do this. It just makes it a lot better, a lot easier. So I don't know, like, if they pulled it, everyone would say yes. It's just a huge change. I don't know where I stand on that. Comment below and hit a sub button and like while you're at it. But comment below what you think for that. This guy didn't read the blog. Do you die if the warmth meter runs out? Blah, blah, blah. It was right there in the blog, man. Come on. 2 points of feedback. Max players benefit from HP Cape and Regen Bracelet at Wintertodt to use little or no supplies. Would be ideal if they could interact with the warmth meter. Yeah, like, yeah, sure. Add Big Search to Wintertodt and Temperos too. Yeah, also sure. I don't know. I think they might have to go to the. I feel like they've committed really to what they want to do with Wintertodt with that warmth meter, but there's no need for it whatsoever. Just have like an activity meter or whatever. They don't need that. If you don't get points, you don't get rewards. So that's the activity meter, and then also you've got. You just basically need to have it so the rounding works properly with food. That's all they need. PvP Arena is really just going to sit here for another year without adjustments. The PvP Arena is dead. Just delete it from the game. I'm sorry, it's garbage. Can we get Herbie 15x rates at 200 mil to go in line with Chin and Quetzin, please? Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done that. But also, do you actually have 200 mil here? Like, Hunter? Like, I don't know what's going on. Kind of sus. I guess they must if they're complaining about it. Waiting for the minigame reward shop that passed a poll in 2014 to come to the game. This is amazing. I'm going to spend the last 40 seconds on this. So there was a polled question of should we make a minigames reward shop where if you wanted to, you could do pest control. It gives you points to a global minigame shop where they've got a ton of new rewards. So you could get, say, 100 points an hour from pest control. You could get 100 points an hour from Castle Wars, 100 points from this, from that. You still get the tickets for Castle Wars, but you also get another couple points for that. And maybe it's like that's where they give you like a couple of blighted restores, or they give you like I don't know, a couple of little things, a bunch of cosmetics. I'm fine if it's just cosmetics, but they could also just slap a couple of like random other drops to that global reward shop. Basically, I just want them to keep pushing these mini games. I love you all. I'm going to end the video now. Peace out, subscribe, and Glake.